A selection of Aesop's Fables, in which the lion appears, narrated by Debey Sklenar. The Lioness. Once, when all the beasts were arguing among themselves as to which of the animals could produce the largest number of offspring at birth, they went to the lioness and asked her to settle the dispute. "And how many cubs do you have at birth?" they asked. "One," she said defiantly, "but that one is a lion." The lesson? No matter how much you have, never argue with quality. The Lion and the Dolphin. While roaming along the seashore, a lion saw a dolphin basking on the surface of the water, and he invited the dolphin to form an alliance together with him. "Since I am king of the beasts," the lion said, "and you are the sovereign ruler of all the inhabitants of the ocean, we ought to be the greatest of friends and allies if possible." The dolphin agreed to this proposal, and not long after this, the lion was having a fight with a wild bull and called upon the dolphin for his promised support. Although the dolphin was ready to help the lion, he discovered that he could not come up out of the sea to help his ally, and the lion called him a traitor. "Don't blame me," responded the dolphin. "Blame my nature. No matter how powerful I might be in the water, my nature makes me helpless on land." The lesson? In choosing allies, make sure that they are not only willing to help, but have the power to do so. The Lion and the Mouse. A lion was sleeping in his lair when a mouse mistakenly ran over the mighty beast's nose and awakened him. The lion clapped down his ferocious paw over the top of the frightened little creature and was just about to crush him when the mouse began pleading for mercy and declared that he had not consciously intended to offend the lion. Moreover, the mouse sought to convince the lion not to stain his honorable paws with such an insignificant prey. Smiling at his little prisoner's fright, the lion generously let him go. Now it happened that a short time later, the lion, while roaming the woods in search of prey, fell into a net laid by some hunters. Finding himself entangled in the rope without hope of escape, the lion let out a roar that echoed throughout the entire forest. Recognizing the voice of his former benefactor, the mouse ran to the spot and without hesitation began nibbling the knots that had ensnared the lion. In a short time, he freed the noble beast, and thus convinced the lion that kindness is seldom wasted, and that, no matter how meager a creature may be, he may have it in his power to return a good deed. The lesson? Little friends may prove great friends. The Herdsman and the Lost Calf. A herdsman who had lost a calf went roaming through the forest in search of it, but unable to find the calf, he made a vow to all the nymphs of the forest and the mountains, as well as to Mercury and to Pan, that he would sacrifice a lamb to them if they would only help him discover who had stolen his calf. At that very moment, just as he reached the summit of the hill, the herdsman saw a lion feasting upon the missing calf. Then the unhappy herdsman amended his vow, promising to now sacrifice a full-grown bull along with the lamb if the gods would only let him escape from the thieves' clutches. The lesson? If all our rash vows were to be granted, many of us would be ruined by our requests. The Lion and the Three Bulls. 3 bulls fed in a field together in the greatest peace and amity, for they were best friends. From a distance, a lion had long watched the bulls in the hope of making a prize of them, but found there was little chance for him so long as the bulls kept all together. Therefore, the lion secretly began to spread evil and slanderous rumors, pitting one against the other until he had fomented jealousy and distrust among the bulls. No sooner did the lion see that the bulls avoided one another and grazed separately than he attacked each bull one by one, making easy prey of them all. The lesson: the quarrels of friends are the opportunities of foes. Or, united we stand, divided we fall. The Lion and His 3 Counselors. The lion called the sheep to him to ask her if his breath smelled. The sheep said yes, and the lion bit off her head for being a fool. Next, the lion called the wolf and asked him as well. The wolf said no, so the lion tore him to pieces for being a flatterer. Finally, the lion called the fox and asked him the same question. However, the fox apologized profusely and told the lion that he had somehow caught a cold and could not smell. The lesson: wise ones say nothing in dangerous times. The lion, the ass, and the fox who went hunting together. One day, the lion, the ass, and the fox formed a hunting party. It was agreed that whatever they caught would be shared between them. After killing a large stag, they looked forward to a hearty meal. The lion asked the ass to divide the spoils, and after he made 3 equal parts, the ass told his friends to take their pick, whereupon the lion, in great indignation, seized the ass and tore him to pieces. The lion then told the fox to divide the spoils. The fox gathered everything into one great pile, except for a tiny portion that he reserved for himself. "Ah, friend," said the lion, "who taught you to divide things so equally?" "I needed no other lesson," replied the fox, "than the ass's fate." The lesson: better to learn from the mistakes of others than by your own misfortunes. The Lion, the Bear, and the Fox. A lion and a bear pounced upon a fawn at the same time, but because each refused to let the other one have any portion of it, ended up having a long, grueling fight over it. The struggle was so hard and evenly fought that both of them eventually lay half blinded and half dead on the ground without enough strength to touch the prize that lay stretched out between them. Now, a fox who had gone round them at a distance several times saw how helpless they had become, and he stepped in between the combatants and scampered off with their booty. "What miserable creatures we are," the lion and the bear cried. "We've exhausted ourselves and destroyed one another merely to give a rogue a dinner." The lesson: sometimes one person's toil is another person's profit. This is Debey Sklenar. Thank you for listening.